rattle, stairs will creak. Your outcome's looking pretty bleak. Thunder booms and lightning crashes, leaving boots filled with ashes. As we lay you down to rest, we read the pages of the Dead Man's Digest.
Hello everyone and welcome to a special edition of the Dead Man's Digest. Now, as Darren, Nina and Travis are deep in recovery from Hurricane Irma and they're prepping for the opening night of Halloween Horror Nights 27, Lee and I have stepped into the fray.
Hello everyone.
Yay, hello. Yeah, we are excited to bring you an interview with show director for creative development, Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Orlando Resort, Mr. Charles Gray.
Yes, our first interview with Charles. We've had Mike on before, and we've had lots of other people who've had the fingers in Halloween Horror Nights. This is the first time we've had Mr. Gray on.
Mr. Gray on, yes. Very excited.
It is.
It is.
Right.
Hi, Charles. Thanks for taking the time to come on to the podcast to talk to us about Halloween Horror Nights 27.
Hey, my pleasure. I'm excited. That's like talking about my kids.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah,
That's
I know.
what we like to hear.
When we've had Mike on before, he always explains it like that as well.
Oh, yeah.
To get us started, Charles, for our listeners who don't know who you are, can you give us a brief overview of what your role is at Halloween Horror Nights?
Absolutely. We have 4 show directors, each one taking a different aspect. We have one show director for each show, one for the Bill and Ted show, one for Academy of Villains, and then one overseeing Streets. And I'm Charles Gray, and I'm the the show director for creative development for the mazes this year.
Awesome.
That I have the privilege of seeing it each house from inception all the way to delivery, all the way through the event. So I know the ins and outs of the houses, and so again, yeah, I'm like their daddy.
There are
so awesome.
many Halloween Horror Nights fans out there listening to this now going, I would be so envious to be in your shoes right now.
Yes, us included. Us included.
That's why I say I'm privileged. I'm most definitely privileged.
Absolutely.
What a job. Yeah. Well, this is the 27th year of Halloween Horror Nights, and it is shaping up to be a fantastic year. We are very, very jealous because we aren't able to make it out this year.
Unfortunately not.
Oh, no!
I know,
tell me about it.
It's killing us.
Watching all the reveal this year, it's been a nightmare.
Yes. So if anybody would like to buy a barely used child's kidney, we can still make it. So, yeah.
We have 34 nights this year, so quite a few nights. So, yeah, maybe somehow there's a way.
Put the lottery on this weekend.
Yeah, that's it. Now, many of our listeners' favourite houses are the originals, which I hold my hands up. I'm in that group.
Yes.
I think we should start with those. This year's original houses, we have The Fallen, Dead Waters, which I am gutted to be missing, Hive, and Scarecrow the Reaping. And yeah, as I said, Dead Waters. Now, this sees the return of somebody we've already met at Halloween Horror Nights, and that's the Voodoo Queen, who's part of 2014's Bayou of Blood Scare Zone. Oh, she was awesome.
Yeah.
So, Charles, what was the thought behind bringing her back for this house?
I was, we kind of, as designers, when we were talking about that street zone, it was such a cool snapshot, if you will, like a Polaroid photo. When you look at it, and you can jump in on this too, but you kind of felt like you just wanted to be inside that shack. You know what I mean? You're on the street, you looked up there and you're like, man, I know it's dangerous, but I'd really want to get up there and see what's inside there. So we took that world and we expanded it. We took the Voodoo Queen herself and made her more kind of disgusting and visceral and scary, you know. She has more self-mutilation on her face. She's much more terrifying. But we're not taking away from anything. We're only adding on layers. We get to go into her realm. We're trespassers, and as we enter her realm, we hear her voice, and she's mocking us, at the same time inviting us if we want to go to her doom, which we do, of course. And so we go in and we see this guardian of her realm, this huge riverboat, the steamer Susanna, which is, you know, kind of half sunk and sinking into the mire. And we get to go into that riverboat and experience all these these zombies that she's raised up from the muck, which are characters from the 1880s. We go through, and there's actually an Easter egg type character, if you can spot him, as one of those characters. And we go through that, and then we go into her swamp itself, the squishy swamp where the vegetation and creatures are coming out at us. And then we go into that shack that I was talking about, which is so exciting. We get to go into the shack. There's this character called the Swamp Witch, which I'm real partial to. She's this lady who lives in the shack, kind of the apothecary there. And she's a jump out scare, but at the same time, she kind of mocks you as you go through, which I love. And then we go out into the village. And so this shack was really a portal to the actual voodoo village that you go through, where the voodoo queen is making these living voodoo dolls that can come out and attack you. So oh my gosh, it's going to be so much fun. And if you love the street zone, we have a lot of little Easter eggs and pieces from the actual street zone that we've inserted and placed into the house.
That is so cool. That bayou aesthetic really lends itself to a Halloween Horror Nights house as well.
Yeah.
Oh. Absolutely, yeah. So we're blessed to have that amazing street zone being like, hey, what if? What if's always the fun question.
Yeah.
Well, I've got an interesting question for you, sort of leaning on that scare zone thing into a house. Hive this year, Charles, I have to ask, how much was that influenced by Vamp 55 from last year?
You know what? I'm going to be perfectly honest. I wasn't influenced at all by that street zone. In fact, we took everything that we thought was... so when I say vampire, when I talk about this house, I say, picture in your head vampires. A lot of people think Twilight or, Bram Stoker's or all these different, these aesthetics and things associated with vampires. What we want to do is strip all that away, throw in the trash can, and what's left is this nasty Nosferatu, disgusting, bestial vampires. And the fun thing about it is we put it in this house in like the early 1980s, and so the score and the theme behind it's kind of that cool synth sound, you go through, and we wanted the idea that if you went to a Blockbuster, which I guess or a video store or something, that it's that one that you would always pass by, this VHS box. You go, man, that's such a cool cover. I want to get it, but I don't know if it's good or not. And you get it and you take it home, and it's that hidden gem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We wanted that feel. Like you go in, you're not quite exactly sure what you're going to get, and it is so intense. We have cast members who've decided to shave their head completely bald, and we're putting these noses on, kind of bat or rat in. Ooh. With teeth, gnashing teeth, ears that are pointed, UV contacts, long nails, and they come scurrying and burrowing through the walls at you. It's going to be so awesome.
Wow.
I love how the 80s is so in at the moment. It's like everywhere you look, the 80s is...
Yes, I'm finally fashionable.
It's funny how everything comes back round again.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we all love the 80s, right?
Absolutely.
I'm hesitant for when the grunge comes back again. I'm like, oh no,
barely survived that one.
Yeah, there's your next Halloween Horror Nights house, Nirvana, The Maze.
Bad shirt. And don't wash your hair for a few months.
Oh, that sounds so awesome.
So.
Yeah, I know a lot of people kind of thought that Vamp 55 from last year would have made an awesome house, but I suppose this is, for all you said, it's not influenced by it. It's kind of that next step on a little bit.
I like this better because it's not a romanticized vampire.
Yeah.
And I like the old school stuff anyway. I was brought up on Christopher Lee.
You never know what's coming in years to come. You never know.
Get saving, Lee.
Awesome. Oh, I am. Trust me.
Yes, you better be. All right. The Fallen is a battle between good and evil. Always good to have a battle.
Yes.
And we've been told, and I'm excited about this concept, we're going to see flying threats and some other surprises. So what else can you tell us about this house? Yeah.
The Fallen, the general overall theme this year is the Festival of the Deadliest, which we have the Hollywood Street Zone dedicated to, leading up into Academy of Villains. Yeah. And really this Festival of the Deadliest has summoned, and this is cool that we get to incorporate a show, a street, and a house, all in this idea that this really something beautiful from a distance, and as you get closer becomes more terrifying, and it's too late to escape once you're in it. is really appealing to us. And so the scenic of this battle-torn landscape that we enter into really is the Fallen coming up from this almost hellmouth, if you will, attacking us and pulling us into the depths. And the cool thing about this, the scenic, what we had talked about initially, is it's not really from any specific time period. You'll see elements of cathedral look or elements of this or that, but then within this look that might have existed, say, in 1592, we'll have rebar sticking out of it too. You know what I mean? It's this really cool amalgamation of architecture that you go through. And these creatures, the Fallen, are horrific and really kind of stretched the boundaries of our makeup design this year. I'm absolutely privileged to work alongside some of the best in the business, and they came up with some really cool concepts that when they were like, "How is this for approval?" I'm like, "Yes." I said yes so many times because it was all so good. I was like, you know what I mean? It was so that part of the job was real easy. I'm like, that's perfect, and that's perfect.
Awesome.
It's just all wonderful.
Yeah, it seems to be that this one, a lot of people kind of feel it's got that Gothic aesthetic from when was Goth? I know it was part of Jack's 25 years.
Yeah.
Was that 2011 or 12, I think?
Well, it does have aspects of a Gothic feel, but I do want to reiterate that it is timeless, and it isn't completely grounded or based in that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That's cool. So obviously the last one, this would be, if we were coming over, this would be the one that I would be so excited about, because it kind of reminds me of our first trip when we came over. So obviously Scarecrow the Reaping, and talking to a lot of our friends and listeners, Scarecrows are something like they're one of those things that you've kind of got clowns at the top, and then Scarecrows seem to be the one that sits just underneath that.
Can I just say I've changed my mind? I actually think Scarecrows are now scarier than clowns.
Jack won't like it if you say that.
Yeah, that's because I love Jack.
But Scarecrows, they're not something we've seen a lot at Halloween Horror Nights. In fact, in my recent memory, the only time I can think of seeing Scarecrows was actually the first time we came out, and that was the Field of Scream Scare Zone back in 2004.
That was creepy.
I think there really is, because in America, the idea that scarecrows are such, kind of rank up there with pumpkins and jack-o'-lanterns. It's such a classic Halloween feel that you don't want to overuse it, and you want to do it right.
Yeah.
So this year we were like, okay, if we're going to do it, let's put all our eggs in the basket. You know what I mean? Let's make sure this is done right, done correctly, and let's put our own flavor to it without while still doing it justice, if that makes sense. So what we have is, if you've ever driven across the Midwest of America, it's these long highways and these distant farms. Sometimes you'll see that are abandoned on the side. They're the most frightening looking. If you have a weird mind like mine, you'll drive by and go, man, that's a scary place over there. Some horrible things could happen there, So we were like, let's have this abandoned, back in the early 30s, this Dust Bowl era, where long abandoned farm, and it's been cursed land. And so the scarecrows that come up from the earth really are made of anything you would find at long abandoned farm. Like, you get rusty, tools, barbed wire, old nasty animal furs, bones of animals and humans, all incorporated in this dry dust. These scarecrows. So I think the key word when we were first designing it, like day one, we said, what's kind of a jumping off word? And we all said dry, almost at the same time. We said dry. Nothing wet. It's just this dry, dusty feel. And so it's really fun to go through the house. And I'll tell you, in scene 2, which is one of my favorite scenes of the whole event this year. I'm going to say the whole event is amazing looking. This one was kind of, when you design or create houses earlier on, the sketches you do on a whiteboard very rarely turn out to look exactly, which is good. Yeah. Rarely turn out to what it is. But we all had this really fun idea of being on a basement level and seeing the first level floor that has caved in, and seeing what that looks like. So it is such a cool scene to walk in and just go, oh my gosh, that's exactly how we imagined it, you know. And there's
awesome.
the only thing holding up the furniture is these old dry roots, and it's just a really cool thing. It's one of those personal favorites, I guess.
Yeah. I did actually hear that when you were hiring actors for the Scarecrows, you had a very specific aesthetic in mind. Very slender, but above average height. Very above average height from what I hear.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you go through Tomb of the Ancients last year?
We didn't, unfortunately.
No.
That was a very tight, claustrophobic house.
Right.
And when we created this year, we were like, man, that was tight and claustrophobic. How can we make it even tighter and claustrophobic? We were like, let's put really tall people in that tight claustrophobic area and see what happens. And so, I think the average height, they're like 6'3", skinny guys. And then one of my favorite characters of the house, aesthetically, is called Biggin. And Biggin is like 6'8" or 6'7", and just has a giant skull, and he just comes through a too small doorway, and just fills the space. It's awesome. And he has a subwoofer attached to his audio, so it's just
Awesome.
deep roared.
Wow.
It's really cool.
Oh, that sounds so awesome.
Oh, we need to go. We need to go so bad. Right. So we're going to quickly move into the IP houses. Many fans have been...
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Many fans have been clamouring to step foot into the Overlook Hotel. Yes, I have.
Yes.
And come face to face with Jack Torrance himself. Now, how much of a labour of love was bringing Stanley Kubrick's The Shining to Halloween Horror Nights?
Stanley Kubrick's The Shining is going to be amazing, and we really checked all the boxes, I believe, for fans of that film. It's a top 10, not necessarily horror film, just films of all kind. You lump them all together, it would still be in the top 10. You know, it's a masterful movie, and so we really... You know, all the things you wanted to see, like the blood elevator, the just the hotel lobby area, the bathroom scene with that nasty old lady, all the things that you wanted to see will be there, and it is creepy, disgusting. I love the soundtrack. I love just the look of the house, and it's breathtaking.
Yeah, Stanley Kubrick has such a distinctive visual style that to put it in a house will just scream The Shining.
I've been saying for years, this needs to be a house. It's one of my all-time favourites.
The fanboys have been talking about it coming for years and desperate for it, and this is the year. But a specific one that I would be excited for this year, obviously, as well as Jack Torrance, we're getting another cult icon this year. And finally, we've had a couple of iterations of The Evil Dead at Halloween Horror Nights, but this is the first time people are going to get to see Ash Williams himself. How you must have been excited to finally do an Ash house this year.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we so I'm a fan of horror movies, but this specific show, I would consider myself an uber fan of. So I was geeking out. The designers were like, "We get to do this! This is so cool!" It's such a unique house because not only does it take the franchise, but there's so much humor and snarkiness within the gore, and it's just so cool. It's just a cool show.
Yeah.
So I'm always telling people, like, you got to check that show out and watch it, and then come to the event, and you will just you'll be not only screaming in terror, but laughing your face off.
Yeah, it's surprising being in the community how many people haven't watched it.
I know.
Being such a huge Evil Dead fan,
Yeah.
we've watched, is it 2 seasons at this point? The third one's due to come out.
Yeah.
It's so awesome.
We love it.
Yeah, we have scenes based on both seasons.
Cool.
So you'll get a good mix of both seasons in there. A lot of the cool characters, a lot of the Deadites that come after you. We may have Linda's head talking to you as you come through, so that'll be a lot of fun.
Oh, that is so cool.
I'm getting more and more depressed as this interview
You're
goes
not
on.
making the fact that we're not getting over there any easier,
You need to make us understand that it's all terrible. We're not missing anything. We know you're very busy, Charles. So if you don't mind, we have one more question. If you don't mind answering.
If you can answer it.
If you can answer it, yeah.
Absolutely.
Now we know.
Okay.
We know that most years you include a guest activated effect. Can you give our listeners a hint? Not what it is specifically, but which house it's in, if you have one.
I will not tell you the house.
Oh, okay.
But I will let you know. No, but I will let you know that there are there's like around 3.
Oh.
We were quite lucky when we came over in 2015 that Darren, who was one of our other hosts on the show, they'd been 11 times when we came over and we did the RIP tour with them. So he knew exactly where that guest-activated trigger was, and it was on the chainsaw in the Canada section of Run, Blood, Sweat and Fingers.
Oh, I love that house.
So cool. It was awesome.
The we have the horrors of Blumhouse we haven't touched on, but I do want to say that that house we have the opportunity to walk through Insidious 4, which so basically you as the guest will get to walk through something that no one else has seen yet because the movie doesn't come out until January. So it's such a huge deal to be walking. It's like a living trailer, like I said. You're walking through the movie before people even get to see it, along with Saw, which also has a movie coming out in late October. We have our final scene dedicated to that movie and the new it's in that movie. Awesome. And then, of course, American Horror Story is our Uber maze, which was amazing last year, and people are just going to love all 3 seasons. We got Asylum, we got Coven, we also have Roanoke, and I will say keep your eyes open for one of the Chens will make who's in Roanoke, which is the creepiest thing I thought that season. Okay. You will actually get to the Chen, so
awesome.
I might be screaming when I go through this.
It sounds like it is building up to be an awesome year.
I have to say, I've gutted that Blumhouse because we went through Insidious Halloween Horror Nights 25, and it was very, very close, but it was my second behind Jack Presents 25 Years. It was such a great house.
How old was Jade when we went?
11.
Our youngest was 11. That was her favourite house.
Yeah.
So,
That's excellent.
She's rock and roll, that kid. So, Charles, we know you have lots to do to be ready for the opening night, so we are going to let you go. I just want to take the opportunity to thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to talk to us. It's been a pleasure.
It's been awesome.
It's been a pleasure with me. Like I said, I love talking about this as like my kids. So thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to hang out with you guys. As big fans, I love talking to fans. So
awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Charles.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Right. Well, that's going to wrap up this impromptu Dead Man's Digest. As I said, I was talking to Darren earlier tonight, and he was expecting to do a Dead Man's Digest, but obviously with the hurricane and everything, they haven't had a chance. But I know for definite the guys will be back soon.
Yeah, it's nice for us to be able to step in and do something.
It is. I like to. We don't get to talk about Halloween Horror Nights so much now because of the Dead Man's Digest being a separate thing. Unless we were coming over and then we get to ramble 2 hours about the houses like we did for 25.
Absolutely.
But yeah, they'll definitely be back with a full episode because Darren and Travis are both attending the opening night media event this Friday.
Awesome.
So again, definitely want to say thanks to Charles for talking to us. It was really cool, and it makes the fact that we're not going this year even more difficult.
The passion, you could hear the passion in his voice, and he was speaking as if he had a big grin on his face most of the time, which is awesome. Because I did.
Let's be honest, that's how you talk about Horror Nights. It's
your baby.
I know this year's been a little bit like people going, they've left the announcements late, and everyone's clamouring for that. I think it's actually ramped up this year's event, waiting that much longer. Because I think as an event overall, I don't think there's anything particularly to me that really stands out and makes me go, oh my God, I need to go and see that. But as an event overall,
it's all of it.
Yeah. There's nothing that stands out as being absolutely amazing that really speaks to me, and nothing that you go, I wouldn't be particularly bothered about that.
I want to go and experience it all. It seems like a really great collection.
Yeah, a good,
quite
really
cohesive.
Rounded year. Yeah. Absolutely. Like he said, they haven't got an icon this year, but it seems like there's a lot of things tied in because you've got the Purge scare zone linked in with the Blumhouse house, but then you've got the Festival of the Deadliest kind of thing that's all wrapping.
The way I'm seeing it is, I don't think you need an icon this year because you've got so many strong characters and strong storylines.
That's a good point.
I think that having an icon would detract from that.
Yeah.
And I think you will end up with an unofficial icon here. I think there's going to be some character that's going to stand out.
I think it'll be the Voodoo Queen.
I do as well, and I think that's going to become the unofficial icon for this year.
The thing is, when remember when we had Mike on, 3-4 years ago now, he said it doesn't necessarily need an icon now because Halloween Horror Nights is the icon.
Entity.
It's the brand.
Yeah.
that's what you're selling now. You're not selling individual things.
No.
You're selling Halloween Horror Nights.
No. I am pleased they brought the Voodoo Queen back, though, because obviously her reign was cut short before.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to see how that evolved, because obviously the shows do evolve over time. And it didn't get a chance really to stretch its legs.
That's the thing. For anyone going to Halloween Horror Nights, if you don't go regularly, it's an event that does mould and change as the event goes on.
There's another thing about Voodoo Queen as well. Because it was pulled, it's going to have a reputation already.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and if they've amped it up and it was pulled before...
The original houses
really,
this year do look awesome.
They
do look
stunning, I know.
really good. Yeah. Cool.
That fine detail is just spot on.
It's that scarecrow house for me.
I know, it's all of it for me.
So again, yeah, thanks Charles for coming to talk to us, and of course Ali and Haley from PR helped us set it up. We really appreciate it. But yeah, event starts on Friday, so if you're heading over, enjoy. Don't forget, if you still need to buy your tickets or you need any info for the event, go over to HalloweenHorrorNights.com. So for Charles and Tracy, I'm Lee, and don't forget, shop smart, shop S-Smart.